changed the world with speed and grace.
The history of Jesse Owens, it's an American history about Americans.
Growing up in the early 60s during the Civil Rights Movement, he was definitely an inspiration. Watching Jesse Owens, the old films were always just, chilling when you watch those victories.
He was the fastest man in the world. What changed in his world came too slowly.
He was someone who gained his fame at a time just on the cusp of the transformation of American life from its medieval segregated past to something that has been indisputably better.
The world celebrated him as a great Olympian. Back home, he was unwelcome because of the color of his skin.
Jesse Owens was an enormous presence in an era of very small-minded people.
Today, there is a stadium named for him at the university where he first won acclaim. But his legacy is not the medals that he won, but the spirit he displayed.
He loved what he did so much, and Ohio State was so much a part of that. He loved this university.
The Ohio State University, we've had over 200 athletes participate in the Olympic Games. Jesse Owens was the premier. In other words, he was a standard bearer, and everyone sort of followed in his footsteps.
He was the type of man who really wanted to make an impact.
Jesse Owens, the man who inspired a nation and became a cultural icon.
I was moving, I'm making me hop and all that stuff. Yeah, moving and stuff.
To do what you've done and bless this great man to live. And I can't thank you enough for all coming. And I can't tell you how thrilled we are to watch the uncovering of this magnificent man's statue.
James Cleveland Owens was born on September 12, 1913, to a family of sharecroppers in Oakville, Alabama. The youngest of 10 siblings, Owens was put to work in the fields at the age of 7, oftentimes expected to pick up to 100 pounds of cotton in a single day. He battled several health issues, including bronchitis and pneumonia, which likely stemmed from the poverty-stricken conditions of his surroundings. At the age of 9, his family moved to Cleveland, Ohio in search of a better life. It was here, while attending school, Owens' teacher misinterpreted the southern pronunciation of his name, J.C., and incorrectly recorded it as Jesse. The name stuck.
In some ways, his story is very typical, and it's embedded in that world of migration and discrimination, not just in the South, but in the North. And that's an important part of his early life. It's also an important part of his intercollegiate life.
In the years that followed, Owens developed into a natural track athlete, setting records throughout his high school career and turning the heads of many college recruiters around the country. Wishing to remain close to his family, Owens chose to attend The Ohio State University, and although his accomplishments preceded him, he still faced the difficult racial climate of 1930s America.
Back at the time that Jesse Owens was here at Ohio State, and you can imagine how it was. I mean, he could not even live on campus at that time.
Because he had to deal with segregated facilities. He couldn't eat in white restaurants or on High Street. Even though he was captain of the team, he wasn't allowed to eat with his white teammates.
And that's really, really sad when you think of what this man meant to the university. You know, it just makes you think, you know, how actually backward we were as a country.
Because there was no track scholarship available at the time, Owens worked several jobs to pay for his tuition and support his young wife, Ruth. Despite the cultural divide, he seemed to rise above the situation.
From what I know about Jesse Owens and from interacting with his daughters, he was certainly a class act.
Race with Daddy was not an issue.
because he was very respectful of people, and most people were very respectful of him.